It was foretold that a war will start. A war between two titans. Two video game titans. This war has raged for over a decade. Now, it has begun as foretold on February 20th, 2013. It has led to this very moment. The very moment of next-gen gaming. This is Zachariah Swope.
This is Adam.
And this is our special edition of Geek Talk, PlayStation style. Alright, so I just want to say before we start on this special episode of Geek Talk, one, Henry is not here with us today. It's just me.
So much.
Just me, Zachariah, with Adam. But we decided we're going to do a special, and we're going to do another special, the opposite of what we're doing today. Our special is just mainly the focus on PlayStation gaming and next gen. So if you want to listen to anything movie wise, we apologize, but also expect an episode just exactly for the Xbox, and we're going to do an argument between next gen with the Xbox versus PlayStation argument. We're just going to wait for Henry because Henry is an Xbot. Yeah, all right. So I can't believe it. It's finally come. One more week. A week from today, we have the countdown.
Well, I mean, you're excited. I mean, I'm excited too.
You're coming with me to the midnight, so you're going to have the excitement with me.
But I just want one so bad. I have to wait till Christmas.
Yeah. Just think of all those people trying to buy all those Taco Bell and people trying to buy all the Mountain Dew Doritos for those codes for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. I mean, they've been talking about it even before PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 came out. Next gen. They're always talking about next gen, even before the next gen even comes out.
The day after PS4 comes out, we're going to be talking about next gen again. I guarantee it.
But I think though, with the next gen coming up, I think we can have a time where it's going to be people have said this about every previous gen, that it's going to be a revolution, but I think this coming up is really going to start a brand new revolution of gaming. Like, it's going to change practically gaming as we know it.
I completely agree, and I think that, and we're going to get into all of those features
today
show.
and future in the coming weeks. I mean, we're going to be talking about this extensively in the next, because a lot of people are really focused on this. PlayStation 4. We're decided on next PlayStation 4, and there's a lot of people out there. There was this whole argument, Xbox for PlayStation. We're not going to get in that argument today, so don't think we will. We might have hints of that argument, but we even chose our opening just to commemorate this. It's once every decade, not even that. It depends. I think this next coming generation is going to last longer. Each generation is lasting longer and longer, and there's speculation that this could be the last until they come out with the virtual reality. I think that's going to be the next step after this. So
I think virtual reality is probably the logical next step.
Oculus Rift
type of stuff. You have you have things like the Google. This is going a little off track, but you have things like Google Glass coming out, which when they start coming with apps for that and they make it a little better, it's probably going to implement some great
a lot of this too, that they're really focused now on adding second screen to PlayStation. Sony's going to have their own app. Mm-hmm. Microsoft is going to have their own app. They already do, Microsoft Glass or whatever it is. But I mean, that's another thing. We're going to get that. I don't want to get too far ahead here. So, but PlayStation 4, I'm sorry. I just keep on saying it. It just
It's exciting. I mean, and we just watched a video on IGN. I mean, I highly recommend you watch it. It just shows sort of everything inside of the PS4, and just from a hardware perspective,
it's absolutely
purely hardware. The outside itself, I believe at least, is beautiful.
Oh yeah,
And very
it's slick and
it's zen. And when you look on the inside, once again, very zen. Everything it's beautiful. And as speaking as a guy who has opened up both PS3 and 360, they looked kind of cobbled together. You could see the glue around the chips. You could see it was. It's interesting to look at always.
Later they get through the generation and they come out with newer models of the same console. They're becoming more and more clean, but from the get go, I think they're really focusing on the look.
It's a beautiful, beautiful,
I
console.
want to squeeze this in here because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to squeeze it anywhere else. Problems with the next gen. I mean, last gen we had the Red Ring of Death. We had
Yellow Light of Death.
Yellow Light of Death on the Xbox, and then the PlayStation. We also had issues with PlayStation's not even turning on or whatever. I mean, there's bound to be problems. I mean, even no matter how well it looks like it's going to run, I'm not going to get my hopes up too high. I mean, I did that for Grand Theft Auto 5, and I was extremely pissed. I still have that anger a little bit, but finally they're making things right. But I think they're going to really work on it, and now with this whole connectivity. And this whole online thing, they're not required now to have online all the time. But it's just the fact is that the whole updates. I mean, they've been really regular on their updates now for Sony, weekly updates and whatnot. So I think that will help. And they've always been good to their fans. But next gen, I think we did have a concern when we looked at that video about them opening up the heat.
The heat sink is directly attached to the aluminum shielding, which if the fan isn't good enough, which is what kind of happened last gen, it could warp the board, the motherboard, which would cause the Red Ring of Death, which would cause the Yellow Light of Death again in consoles. And that's the only major hardware issue I think that I could have. I think personally, the biggest issue this generation will be software. They're going to be. I mean, they say that you don't have to have always on DRM, but I'm telling you to do anything significant with this next gen, you're going to need internet.
Yeah.
And I think that there are going to be a lot of connectivity issues because there's so much going on cloud servers now. There's so much.
It's going to be a bumpy first year. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, it's what's expected everywhere.
Yeah.
Every time a console comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different story. But we're preparing for the worst. But I mean, it's still going to be a fun year all the same. Okay? We're going to have great launch titles. I mean, even Xbox, I'm kind of jealous at some of their titles that they have. I mean, Rise, Son of Rome. I'm jealous of Titanfall, especially. We're going to get in that moment. We're going to get into that moment. We're going to get in that very soon. But I see. We're just so excited. We're getting ahead of ourselves constantly today. But we have, and for this special moment, and since we're doing PlayStation exclusive focused episode this week, we're going to go through our fondest PlayStation memories and favorite PlayStation exclusives. If you think you might have recognized that theme song from we did the intro, I took it from God of War 3, the opening when Gaia gives the introduction. I try to go for that same tone, but I think we wanted to do something grand just to commemorate this moment. And we're going to start off with our first pick of the week, our fondest PlayStation memory. I want to let Adam start.
Really? I have a few rolling around my head. So I think it might be better if you start so I can kind of think of straighten my thoughts
And
out.
when we say fondest memory, this is for every PlayStation console.
Or accessory
game
else.
or anything. I have so many memories It's actually, I feel very depressed just thinking about it because I feel so old, and I'm only 22 going on 23, but still and did you watch that video a couple weeks ago where Sony released where they're people going through every generation of gaming?
No, I haven't.
On their console, where it takes place in London, UK, and they keep on going from these same people going from the room, and the room's changing constantly. And it's like a 5-minute video.
That's really cool.
It is really. I recommend you really watch it. It's very nostalgic, and you can notice how the skyline's changing, and like the posters and the time period fits. So, and it all starts in 1995 when the first PlayStation came out.
That's really cool.
But I think by memory, the one I can really, really remember is my first PlayStation. I mean, the very first PlayStation to be released. I got it for Christmas. It must have been like 7. It took a few years because back then, even for how, I mean, we might look at it being very cheaply made now, but back then they were very, very expensive. And I mean, we can get one now for like $20 online or so.
It's kind of depressing when you see that.
Yeah, but for how much money we've actually spent.
Yeah.
But I mean, our parents spent. Let's be honest. How much our parents spent to get this, and I remember, and it was a joint gift for me and my sister. My sister really wasn't that kind of but she liked playing games every now and then. She still does, but I just remember I was just very excited. My dad, he was playing Koi all day. He kept on mentioning PlayStation. Like, so what about that PlayStation or whatever? I remember very clearly. And we ended up going to my grandparents on my dad's side. And me and my sister were there sitting. My dad brings out this box. And we're like, okay, it's going to be a joint karaoke thing because he was also talking about getting a karaoke machine. But then I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, that's too small. Way too small. So, and the N64 came out, so we were also thinking that could be the case because N64 was cheaper. And as soon as we opened it was a brown box. It wasn't even in its original box. So I was like, oh, what is this? So I opened it. I know. So me and my sister's like, my sister, she was like 4, so she, but I'm 7. I'm like all giddy, and I'm like, what is this? And then as soon as I opened it up, my jaw dropped. I remember very clearly, I started screaming and jumping for joy. And I ran over to my dad and gave him a hug, and the rest is history. And it was actually at that exact moment I actually became a Sony fanboy. Like, it was from that was my first day. And it didn't end there. We got like 3 games. They were very kiddie games because my dad, he wasn't sure because he didn't like me playing Mortal Kombat with my cousin who was older than me on the Nintendo. But I got Pac-Man World. I don't know if you remember that game.
Yeah, I do. That was an awkward, weird game. That I remember.
It was. It was fun, though.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. There was Pac-Man World, and I got Spyro.
Nice.
Spyro. Come on, Spyro. And then, not the shitty Spyros we see it today. Not the Skylanders. I mean, come on. Skylanders, I mean, you turned Spyro into something completely different.
Yeah.
And then, I remember, I think it was, Spider-Man? I think it was the last game. Yeah, it was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 1 or 2?
It was...
Because there's Spider-Man 2, like the movie Spider-Man 2, and there's Spider-Man 2,
I'm not talking
like
about
the animated
I'm talking about,
Spider-Man.
like... You know how, like, they had the original comic book games back in the day,
Yeah, they have Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yeah, so yeah, I can't remember which one.
There's Enter Electro, and then there's...
It wasn't... I think it was just The Amazing Spider-Man.
There's The Amazing Spider-Man, okay.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, I remember that being my memory. And then PlayStation 2 came along. I didn't get it until 2003. And I was just... And that life cycle only lasted 5 years.
It wasn't too long. It was, but they packed a lot in those 5 years.
Yeah, they've really, really packed.
That was like the golden renaissance of gaming. I mean,
yeah,
great time.
As of now, I mean, that could change. But,
yeah.
All right. So, what about you? I have more memories.
My fondest is also one of my favorite / funniest, and that is that. I got the original PlayStation. I kind of would play it for the JRPGs, like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. played for Chrono Trigger. I played, even though that was
Oh my
originally on Super
god,
Nintendo.
Chrono Trigger! Oh my god, I'm feeling old.
And I played for all those games, but one of my earliest memories was getting my PlayStation 2 for Christmas. I wanted Ghost Recon 2 so bad. I love the tactical game, still do. And I remember it was the first time, and this is before online gaming was huge.
Yeah.
This is before Xbox Live.
Yeah, before you had
This
to
is
connect
before-
the Ethernet to the cable.
This is before Halo. I mean, you had to, like he's just
You
said.
could connect the Ethernet to the
Ethernet.
cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could still do that, but that's
Yeah.
how old school.
But I connected and I played Ghost Recon 2 online. And I remember I was really nervous at my first few it's a very short memory, but my first few seconds online, I get into a team deathmatch. Didn't realize it was team deathmatch. All I know is that I turn around and all these guys are just around me, and I start killing them all.
I'm
I'm just mowing down everybody. Everybody's yelling at me, and I'm thinking, what did I do? And it turns out that I was shooting at my own teammates and killing them all. We lost the game, suffice to say, but that's probably my favorite sort of early PlayStation memory. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many memories.
Yeah.
I remember one memory, awkward enough, my pants fell down. So that's yeah. Let's say it was a winter. I was wearing very, very baggy snow pants, and I come in. I'm at a friend's place, and she had a PlayStation 2, and she invited me in to play with her and some other guy in the neighborhood. I was like 10, 11 years old. So we go in, and because I wasn't, for 1 second, we enter the room, and I see the PlayStation 2. This is my first time seeing it, because I didn't really know anybody with it that owned one. I let go of my pants because I'm holding them out, and next thing you know, they fall down. Just like, everybody's
PlayStation 2 literally made your pants drop.
yeah, I can literally say that. Yeah, I can literally say the PlayStation 2 literally made my pants drop. Yeah, I remember I remember when I was like 14 when the first God of War came out, and the most funniest thing, another funny moment, is I'm playing it in my room and I'm just navigating, and I didn't know about the sex mini game. So I come to it, and being a teenage with hormones, I wouldn't stop playing it, and then my mom comes in when I'm playing it. She's like, "What the hell are you playing?"
Oh God.
And she's like, "I didn't know I bought this." She bought me the game, and she didn't know what was in it. She just knew it was rated M, but she didn't understand, and I understood. I kind of lied to her, but she didn't. I mean, she didn't really care. But the fact is, she sees it and she's like, "Oh my god."
Well, I mean, speaking of God of War, our second pick of the week this week is favorite PlayStation exclusive. Would you like to start, or should I start?
Let's you start, because I started last time.
Okay. This is a really tough one for me.
It's going to be tough for me too. I mean, there's so many great exclusives for the PlayStation.
I mean, and you might mention something that might make me change my mind. As we know, that happens a lot on this show with me.
You and me are usually spot on. But
Yeah.
Wait, Henry, not so much.
Damn it, Henry! I know you're out there listening.
What if he's just sitting in front of his TV, and all of a sudden hears a voice. He's like, "God damn it, Henry!"
God damn it, Henry!
Like he hears us from, like he has a super sense. Like he can hear us a mile away at his apartment.
It's probably gone. I miss you, Henry. I'm sorry. Come back.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's hard to pick my favorite, but the one that I played the crap out of, the one game that's the biggest reason that I got a PlayStation 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
High five. High
fives.
All right.
When you look at, how when you complete a game on Metal Gear Solid and you go to play it again and you see that little 1 or 2 next to it, there was a 29 next to my sort of how many games I've played. I beat that game so many times. I love that game.
Oh yeah. Also, the raging hormones things with Ava. I mean, really,
God,
teenage boys playing that game with Ava. For the video game character, but still, we're teenage boys who found a lot in that generation a lot of sexy looking video game characters.
Did you leave the tracking device in you when you escaped from Groznygrad?
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's just starting to play Metal Gear Solid 3 out there, leave the tracking device in you when you leave Groznygrad when you escape from your prison after your eye gets shot out. Oops, spoilers. But there's a hilarious scene that plays out between Eva and Snake, and it's just really really funny.
But and also with the whole spoiler thing, it's been over 10 years, like 5, 6 years. So I think that we're past that.
We got the HD remakes people that are doing it now.
True. But I don't know. My list of favorite PlayStation exclusives, and if it's one thing that Sony has gotten right, it's exclusives.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Microsoft has some really good exclusives. I'm not talking about Halo. Hell no. Not Halo.
Halo was good for
the first 2 Halo games. I'm not talking about the new shit.
Yeah, well, 3. Give them 3. 3 is still good.
Okay.
Looking back on it,
and Reach had a good story, but for when it comes to multiplayer, yeah. But and I would also say Doom 3 when that was a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
It was on the original Xbox, so yeah. But now it isn't. But I don't know. I have my top 5 and. I mean, they range from original PlayStation classics to PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of the Beast, they're bringing back.
Yeah.
They're finally bringing Shadow of the Beast back. It took them, goddamn, how long to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, and it took them how long to bring back Twisted Metal?
Like 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, it took. I mean,
wasn't the last one Twisted Metal Black? Like the last big official release.
Yeah, I mean, but they botched the one we're at now, and then but then they have God of War. They've had.
I have another one for you.
Okay.
I just thought of Shadow of the Colossus.
Exactly, Shadow of the Colossus.
That is phenomenal.
Ego. I mean, there's so many good exclusives. Journey. I played the demo. Don't get me wrong. I've only played the demo, but my God, it is. I won't really want to buy it.
Get the full game. You know what makes it better? As you're wandering through the desert, you'll be linked with another random player online. There's no way to communicate.
Oh yeah, I know about this. Yeah.
And you go through this journey together. It is one of the, as cheesy as it sounds, deepest experiences with gaming I've ever had in my life. It's incredible.
I'll come back to Journey in a few minutes, but. And there's let's see, Chrono Trigger.
Well, that was a Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
but it did only go to the PlayStation when it went to that
I consider it a
semi-exclusive. Well, if we're talking semi-exclusives, then my favorite would be Chrono Trigger. Yeah. Chrono Trigger would be the best.
Chrono Trigger has the hardest boss ever, and I
love that game.
I don't get me wrong, I love it, but my God, the boss, it took me forever to beat.
It's a tough game.
Demon Souls is in my top 5.
Is that an exclusive?
Not Demon Souls.
Dark Souls?
Dark Souls? No, wait. Dark Souls is the
sequel to Demon Souls.
Yeah, so Demon Souls is
Okay.
Demon Souls I have yet to beat, but still, my God.
I started it, and I had like 80,000 other games I had to play.
Yeah, but still, don't get me wrong. It's such a great game.
It's fantastic.
And then and then there was Tomb Raider, but that became a non-exclusive.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid. Well, I mean,
Metal Gear Solid.
The whole series, I think,
it's been switching. It's been switching all over the place.
No, not really. I mean,
it's been on Nintendo. It's been on.
Well, yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah, but when it really comes down to it, there's also Uncharted 2. That's also another one. Uncharted is a good series.
I thought 3 was good.
I'm not talking about the sequel. I'm just talking about Uncharted as a franchise.
The franchise.
Yeah. But if I had to really, really choose an exclusive. I'll bring it down to one of 2 games. The God of War trilogy as a whole. Not Ascension. We talked about this earlier. Ascension as its own game is good, but part of the God of War series, not so great.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one would have to be until recently, because it came onto Microsoft, was Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Snake Eater was a good exclusive. It's not as exclusive anymore. But if I had to choose one of the other ones, God of War. God of War, hands down. I mean, it raging hormones with the sex minigame,
the you need to beat up crap that you have when you're that age.
I mean, when God of War 3 came out and you finally fight Zeus.
Oh my God!
You beat him to a pulp, and I didn't know this. I kept on punching him for like 5 minutes, thinking, when will this end? When will this end? But apparently, and I looked it up, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, oh, you just stop whenever you want.
Holy crap!
Just have to wait. As long as you wait until the screen is bloodied, you can stop whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But and then how God of War 2 is amazing for its time. I mean, in storytelling, and it was one of the last few games to come out on the PlayStation 2.
Mm.
Great. So, I mean, it's very tough. I mean, when you're looking at PlayStation, the one thing they've definitely got right is exclusives.
Right. And overall, I mean, that's the reason, to me now, there's been a sort of diffusion of franchises across all consoles. And when you look at Microsoft's, at least, not saying they don't have good exclusives coming up, but at least for the 360 this past gen, ooh, it feels good to say that.
Yeah.
A little sad, but good to say that.
Yeah.
This past gen, they really didn't have any exclusives near the end, but you look at Sony, they still have Uncharted going strong. They have indie games like Journey going strong, and they did HD remakes of all their exclusives.
The majority of the games coming out on the PlayStation 4 launch are indie games.
Yeah.
So that's worth noting. They've been really very good with indie games. And Microsoft is trying to catch up.
Yeah.
A lot of catch up.
Yeah.
And another thing they got right, I think, was online. I mean, Xbox Live, when it first came out, it changed everything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Sony stayed free. I mean, it's going to change next gen when it goes to PlayStation Plus. But the thing is, PlayStation Plus, I think, is a way better deal than. And now they flipped the tape when they came out with PlayStation Plus. They turned the tables on Microsoft. Now Microsoft is trying to catch up. Now they're coming out with their own version of PlayStation Plus. Now it's called Games for Gold.
Yeah.
I mean, but these games are old games that people already own.
Well, I mean, heck,
they're trying to play. They're trying to catch up.
Literally this morning on PlayStation Plus, I got $40 DLC, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, that I refused to buy because Capcom was making you rebuy the game you had initially to get it. Mm-hmm. I got it for free.
Yeah, so
downloaded it.
Yeah,
12 gigs.
You don't even have to play the original. It's only just the DLC, right?
I think you have to have the original to do it.
Also has the original?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you have to have the original. I don't know if it's still with it.
Okay. I want to make sure. I want to give it a shot. Because it's in the free games section.
Yeah.
I was curious about that.
But I mean, they give you. I mean, sometimes they'll give you older games, but they give you PS Vita games for free.
They also give you pretty relevant games now. Like they have Uncharted 3 came out.
Yeah.
We've had Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
We've had some really good.
And don't forget, too, you get access to many closed betas. And we sound like a commercial right now. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's just, I think that if Xbox wants to beat PlayStation, they need to bump up their game to letting go of some of their title, like maybe a title that's like a year and a half old. Have it even a
like
huge
Halo
discount.
4, like Halo 4.
Yeah.
Do a discount for Halo 4 or something.
Like a 30% discount or something.
Or do like they're doing with like Forza 5 for free.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're doing Drive Club for free on PlayStation on the day it comes out. I mean, we've also gotten a lot of free to play games coming for free, as long as you're a PlayStation Plus member with the next gen. We have Resogun, we have Warframe, War Thunder. There's some of these games that are also for regular players, but still, it's phenomenal. And this, I think this really brings up a debate where Microsoft is going to go with what they're going to do with their online, and they're going to keep Xbox Live. And PlayStation's changing. They're going to charge for online next year.
Well, they said with some games, not all games. They said they said it's up to the developer to decide whether, like they said if someone wants to play, this isn't a real thing, but if someone wants to play Call of Duty online, they may not have to pay it depending on what the developer
Elder
feels.
Scrolls Online, we don't have to pay an additional fee. We just have to pay the $15 monthly fee that Elder Scrolls ZeniMax Bethesda is going to charge.
Right.
Which brings us into another topic, but let me get into that in a few minutes. But online, when it comes to multiplayer, I'm very excited as well because next gen, their cloud servers are bigger. Their cloud servers make things bigger, and I think they can add like huge environments. I mean, think Battlefield 4. I've been playing Battlefield 4 online right now. I mean, I'm a little about the game right now.
We can get into that a little bit later. I want to hear what you feel about that.
But the maps are getting huger, more players per match. Servers now are able to handle everything. I mean, GTA 5, don't get me started there. But I think their servers are going to be a lot better, and there'll be less time for a wait when you're looking for a match. Mm-hmm. So when you go searching for a match, snap of your finger. Mm-hmm. You're right into a server. You don't have to wait. I mean, you have to wait for the match to load, but for people to come in. But when it looks for a match, you don't have to really wait to find a match.
Well, I mean,
and even then, you can, if there is a wait, you can do it in the background. You can continue doing something else.
I mean, I'm not sure about, and you can talk about this maybe a few seconds, maybe a little later in the show, but I played Battlefield 4 on PC at a friend's house, and I just have to say, the PS4 being like the PC version, it's fantastic. I love 32 versus 32. Always have.
It could change.
For next gen. I love the expansion of. It's just an enormous maps. I mean, I'm not sure if they've put them down a bit because of the smaller team size.
It depends what mode you're playing. Team deathmatch. If you're playing like Conquest, the maps are huge. But for like Domination, you're on the smaller maps. I mean, it depends what mode you're playing.
Right.
But
But yeah. I mean, the capacity. That's the thing. I can't wait for epic, enormous matches. I mean, one thing.
Before, one second. Mag.
I was just going to say that too.
Okay.
I was literally just going to say that.
Okay, because when you said huge, enormous matches, I'm thinking Mag.
That's what I was going to.
Because I think even though Mag failed at consumer level, I mean, it didn't really sell.
Well, let me say this though.
And the servers are down now.
I had the most fun, probably I've had on consoles at least, online in Mag.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Last gen.
It was great, but I mean, I think it didn't work because the knowledge base of people and how people were more focused on games they know.
No, not just that. They didn't advertise it. Yeah. Really hardly at all. But the thing is, it was the most you would sit there, you'd be fighting this battle with everything you had against
64 against 64, 250 against 250.
Well, we'd be going against maybe 24 versus 24 or 50 versus 50 and be tough. And then I go to my map to try and order commands, and I'd zoom out and realize I was a tiny speck in an enormous battle that was going on with 250 other people.
I think that's where it's going to go next gen.
And I can't. I mean, if they can do 250, I cannot wait to see what they do.
I think they'll be able to do it with how big the servers are now. Yeah. And I think another issue is the servers, because the servers really couldn't handle it, and people were also getting dropped a lot.
I'm telling you right now, I bet you for the first year the servers are going to be shoddy, especially after Christmas, which is going to be sad because that's when I'm getting mine. But I think I think we have to make everyone needs to be aware now that there are going to be issues with servers.
Yes.
There are going to be software issues with multiplayer. It's an inevitability. But unfortunately, the best thing we can do is grit our teeth through it and make sure that they inform us enough.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the faults with Sony. They have the outage. They didn't inform anybody.
But at least we got. So they were nice to their fans. I mean, they gave us a month of PlayStation Plus for free, and
I still felt like they could have.
But they've
given us more information.
But they've worked on that, and they've really done better.
Yeah, they've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah, and at least Microsoft, it doesn't seem they've really learned from their mistakes. I mean, Microsoft seems they're changing, but they're not apologizing for changing.
Well, I mean, not just that, but I mean the guy who invented the Xbox kind of was quoted as, paraphrasing terribly here, "What the hell are you guys doing? You're doing this completely wrong. What is wrong with you?"
Bill Gates even spoke out. I remember, because people were really furious with Microsoft.
Oh yeah, and they have right to be.
It's not just. it's not just about yourself. You have to look at your consumers, and I think Sony has done very well, and they haven't changed. And there's this whole, I don't want to get into it today, but I guess we're going to get in with the Henry. The whole...
You hear that, Henry?
Yes,
We're coming for you.
We're coming for you, Henry. WrestleMania 25. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, but I think the whole Microsoft was more focused on profit to start off. I mean, they might seem like they're switching to consumer, but I think it's in their mind it's profit. And don't get me wrong, Sony's probably thinking profit.
Oh
too,
yeah, they do.
right? But they're also taking consideration of their consumers, and they're getting feedback from their consumers and listening to them.
Right.
But Microsoft is taking a not apologizing attitude, not apologizing for anything attitude, and then when Sony comes forward saying they haven't been loyal to their consumers, they're being very highly defensive about it.
I have my own opinions on that, but we'll talk about that another time. Wait for Henry. But talking about larger server sizes,
more MMOs. I mean, we have. This is also going to bring more MMOs. We've had a little touch of it during this current gen, especially later in the gen. I mean, early on we had DC Universe Online. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yep.
And then we've also had Diablo 3 is kind of an MMO. If you think about it, I mean, we've Dust 514. Yeah, I mean,
which is fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got some bugs, but it's great.
PlanetSide, I'm not sure if that was on.
PlanetSide 2 is coming. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm excited now.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, there's been a touch. They've been experimenting, and it's finally happening. We're really going to go, even though DC Universe Online wasn't really an experiment. At first it was, but now it's full on. But we have Elder Scrolls Online, going to be the first big MMO. Rumors talking, I don't think it'll happen, but World of Warcraft on Xbox, but I don't think that'll happen.
I've also heard rumors about DayZ being a possibility, which I'm very, very excited for. I love DayZ.
I mean, there's quite a few things where there's rumors about, and it's talk right now, so we can't confirm anything. I want to reiterate that so people don't put words in my mouth. It's just talk and speculation. Because I had this issue the other day. I said something and somebody went ahead and told somebody, like, I said such and such was true and it must be true. I'm like, that's not what I said. I said it was rumor. It was rumor. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited too to see what they do. I mean, Elder Scrolls looks beautiful. Beautiful graphics.
Now,
I mean, it's probably going to be a lot different when we play, but still.
I mean, my only problem with MMOs, though, and you will know better than me, or maybe nobody knows yet. I'm not sure. I haven't kept too far up on Elder Scrolls Online. Is the combat like World of Warcraft, or is it more like DCUO, where it's like I press a like. Hell, like Skyrim.
It's probably going to be like Skyrim. I think they're going to use the same mechanics. I mean,
that would be fantastic.
I think if they're going to change, it's going to hurt the fans.
Yeah,
and it's going to throw some people off.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's also speculation. How are they going to do it? Do you need PlayStation Plus? My Sony says you don't need PlayStation Plus to play Elder Scrolls Online, even though they are charging to play online. The thing is, Sony sees it. We don't want you to pay an additional $15 on top of it. Microsoft, on the other hand, has been very silent. Which is kind of worrying to some people that are getting an Xbox.
I would love if we did PlayStation Plus, bump it up to $75 a year, and then I can play Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, or we get a discounted membership.
Right, that would be better too. Like $5
I think
Sony
is. Well, I won't be surprised if Sony is doing something like that right now.
That would be nice.
I mean, they're always. I'm sorry, this is a biased episode.
Yeah, it's very biased.
We're gonna say this every 20 minutes now. Okay.
But DCUO. Do you want me to talk about it real quick?
I'm excited. I haven't played. I've briefly played it, but my internet signal's not that great, so I'm gonna really play it on PlayStation 4. From the updated graphics and everything, I'm gonna really get into it because the bigger hard drive space. I have like the 80 gig hard drive on the PlayStation. I'm sorry. So I have the shitty hard drive.
I have the highest one for the
500. The 500 is the the limited edition 500. But yeah, I think I will when I get the 500 gigs. I'm gonna
You'll utilize that.
Yeah, I'm gonna utilize it. I mean, depending how big the games are, because I'm also worried how games will be size of us. Did you hear that they actually said Killzone through Shadowfall almost spent 50 gigs?
Oh my
I was like,
God.
holy shit! Plus, then you also have the DLC coming out too,
Right.
which is going to be free, which is also great.
Yeah.
And they're going to have free DLC for some of these.
Which
For these brand new.
Yeah.
I think NAC is going to have free DLC. I mean, maybe story DLC will be. You'll
have to pay like an extra
but for
buck
like
or two.
multiplayer, yeah.
That's
but,
great.
This talk of MMOs brings into another thing that's going to be really, really touched upon in this next gen: social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media. Now you can integrate your PlayStation into Facebook, or you can do it in Facebook, and then I know Xbox you can do Twitter and Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but there's that thing, and I'm excited, but at the same time, like able to use features like Twitch, like where you can record, you can make your own. Which I'm actually thinking we should do our own video game.
That would be
series.
fun.
We'll do it with our We can do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it as a companion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. But I think that's something. Some small stuff like that is great. But I think at the same time they seem to be really focused on it, and I don't like that really at all.
I'm excited for it. I mean, we saw it. Anyone who's played Last of Us multiplayer, it was kind of cool to see all the survivors you were taking care of were your Facebook friends, and you could see. I mean, that's kind of cool. And I mean, I'm looking forward to share. I mean, we've had small things where you can see people's trophies on Facebook.
Yeah,
you can. I mean, that's cool.
They're reintegrating the whole trophy system with Facebook and accomplishments.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're going to do the same thing that Microsoft is doing, where you can have always changing trophies or achievements.
That would be nice.
I think that would be nice, something new to every player.
At least for multiplayer, maybe you do special things. And one thing I would like to see, though, is just getting a tiny bit off track. I'd like to see redeemable trophies.
Yes, they did that they've been touching on that very briefly with their commercials they've been doing. They've been selling the props of gold trophies. And I think if they do something like, even if it's for like DLC or something, I think it will be mainly DLC stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that would be very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
Even if it means for like an avatar or at least you feel accomplished.
Yeah, something, or even if they send you a little plush thing or something.
A coupon or a coupon to use for like a discount.
For the developer, or something like that. I mean, that would be really cool. I think if you could do that. Yeah,
I think that would be great. And social media, it's really going to be a big thing. I mean, it's especially with the Xbox TV. It's like a TV box.
I mean, I think
you hear that, Henry? You're supporting a company that's all about TV and not about games.
Was it Xbox is the new water cooler?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean. They're also now PlayStation TV. I mean, they're adding speaking of TV, they're adding.
There's this proliferation of media that's going to come out. There's going to be lots of Let's Plays now. There's going to be lots of really cool fan content that is sort of
like getting a gay vibe.
See what I'm trying to do here? There's a lot of really cool fan content that I'm being serious though. It's going to come out of this, and a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of really cool things where it's not just, hey man, guess what I did in GTA the other day. Now it's going to be, hey man, look what I did in GTA the other day, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're going to do something like Home, but bigger.
Oh, I think they will. I think they're going to build on that.
I think they're going to. I know Home is shutting down for PlayStation 4, but I think if they focus on, if they do like not just Home, like where you're in your own little community, do a whole world.
Do like a GTA 5 online kind of thing where you're in a world.
Social media. I mean, add it like The Sims.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be great. And then back to the TV thing. They're going to have their own TV shows now. Sony's going to come out with their own programming just for Sony fans. And I think that's great. I mean, we can have TV shows on The Last of Us, or maybe... Or they'll have video game tournaments, which really aren't really that accessible to a lot of people because they can't go to New York.
They're on the special cable channels. You have to pay hundreds of dollars.
What if people can actually take part at home?
Wait, Wait a minute. I just thought of something.
Okay.
What if we, audience, hold on to your seats, or at least somewhat older audience who knows what I'm talking about, what if they brought back the real G4? Attack of the Show, X-Play, Filter.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That was a pin dropping. There was a pin dropping.
I want, that's, you know what, Sony? I'm already getting the PS4. I've already decided. But I would lick the PS4. I would hug it.
You have shows. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be Attack of the Show or anything.
No, I would
something
like it to be.
I mean, we would like it to be. But
something like that.
Something
channels about games and gaming and count, like I said, Filter, where they used to count down different types of games. They go behind the scenes at different developing studios.
And I think the reason
really
they
cool.
stopped doing that on cable is because not a lot of people. It wasn't really that big for a lot of people. I think if the have a water audience the audience is more focused on the game on the console. They have something. They know who's watching on the console.
And not just that, but my friend, G4 alone is a topic for next week. I think
Okay.
I want to get into that just a tiny bit, the history of that I found out about.
Okay.
But besides that, I mean, I think that, and I will even say that for Xbox, creating its own content is really cool,
Yeah.
and I think it's really exciting for both consoles.
It
It's
brings
really
room
cool.
for fan films as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people making. This is bringing us into our next topic because we've been biased this whole episode. I want to change it just a little bit, just for those people who are listening. Have you? Well, of course you did.
I watched it with you.
Yes, we watched the Rise Son of Rome live action series on Machinima. Shit like that. That really adds in. What's the word I'm thinking about? Adds like you can connect with a console. Like
It adds a bit of personalization to it. Sort of some
personalization, interaction.
Interaction?
It adds
Okay.
interaction. Yes, it'll add interaction. And same thing with Ubisoft is doing. I mean, at E3 they're having their own interactive TV show.
Yeah,
the Rabbids.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, things like that they can do that for Sony and Microsoft. I mean, even if it was on YouTube and we can watch it on YouTube and then interact and we can choose the outcome. As gamers.
Yeah.
What if we're actually playing like Defiance?
Yeah.
They changed the show according to how the game went.
And I mean that's the thing is that we want thing is you
To
know
feel part of the game.
yeah and I've talked to a lot of people lately, especially of course from our generation, and the thing I keep hearing all the time is I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who
More
really
people-
watches like cable TV anymore.
I do to watch the shows, but I still watch a lot of
the thing is,
Netflix and
you have
HBO
Hulu,
Go.
you have Netflix. I have
HBO
Hulu,
Go.
and I always watch that. I never watch.
You know what would be great for PlayStation 4? If they're gonna deal with HBO.
That would be fantastic.
Because I can watch Game of Thrones on my PlayStation 4.
That would be awesome.
But that won't happen because they have an exclusive right to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Fuck Microsoft.
But anyway,
Pardon my language, guys. I'm gonna bleep myself after that. I mean, it was just like beep Microsoft.
But back to, but I mean, the thing is that we want to see sort of not an oversaturation, but I think we want to see a crisscrossing of ideas. We want to see expanded lore that goes across all mediums, comics, movies. We want to see these franchises that have started out really small expand. I mean, you look at something like even Assassin's Creed, which has those great comics. Even though
movie is going to be
the movie's coming out, that's going to be awesome. But then there's also the
2015.
I don't know if it's Machinima or IGN that made
They
it.
did the
Pre-Assassin's Creed 2 thing, which
Lineage. And,
Yeah.
I mean, some of that was all right. I mean, they did it
was
for
okay.
Dragon Age.
Yeah.
They did the Dragon Age fan film. They're doing Mortal Kombat again. I mean,
but that was the early days of fan films, and I can kind of forgive.
yeah. And now they're doing.
Yeah.
They've done. I need to watch the Last of Us fan film. There's 2 parts now.
I haven't seen it
This
yet.
new one, I haven't even either. The second part came out this week or last week. It was they're in Bill's town.
Ooh,
The second episode.
I want to see that.
So I don't know if it's actually the direct story or if it's a prequel. I think it's a prequel actually of the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But each episode is like 50 minutes, 30 minutes or so. So I mean, stuff like that. I mean, it'll be great. I mean, even if they were to promote like a fan of the week, like a fan submission of the week. Something so fans can feel,
a part of something larger than themselves. I think that's...
I mean, larger than playing the games and getting these achievements and trophies.
And we don't feel so... I mean, there's a time where you do want to feel like the only guy out there and the hero, and like Skyrim, where it's I'm the Dragonborn, no one else is, I have my own experience. That's great. But then there are games, like you said, which kind of tanked, Defiance, where it expands into another medium and you feel part of a larger community, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the Rise action film. For when it comes to action series, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, if there's one game I really, really want to play on Xbox, it's Rise.
Look,
I'm a big fan of Roman history and shit.
Well, I love Roman history too. But the thing is, I think it looks really cool. I think the story looks amazing. But it just looks, you may strangle me, a little too God of War to me. My problem with God of War, I don't personally, and if someone does not saying it's a bad game, I'm just saying, personally, I'm not a button mashing type of guy. I don't like...
See, I played the game for the story. I played the game for the story. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I love the story of God of War. Mm-hmm. But, I think, it has similarities to God of War. But I think Xbox... I think they at least got that right, the live action series. I think the way for the effects, really nice effects for low budget live action.
Well,
I felt like I was watching another episode of Spartacus. Actually, I mean, have you watched Spartacus?
Yeah, I've watched.
Yeah, I loved Spartacus, and I feel like that made me feel like they're setting up another a spin-off for Spartacus.
Yeah,
but, still, I think it's a nice little action series, and it's stuff like that I would love to see on next gen, which is definitely happening.
Yeah.
So, I haven't really seen Sony though do stuff like that. I've only seen Microsoft. I mean, they've done Halo films and stuff like that.
And this is, I just thought of this now. I haven't really seen, from what I can recall, an exclusive for the PS4 yet.
An exclusive game?
Yeah.
Knack, Shadowfall, Drag Club.
But I mean, something that's like a new... I mean, besides Knack looks really cool. But I mean, something that's a hardcore gamer looking...
I think they're going to
save it. Good.
I think they're going to save it for next year. They're going to reveal it next year.
Oh, I'm not saying they won't have it. I'm just saying, Sony, be careful. That's
what I like about Sony too. They take their good old time.
Yeah.
They're very elaborate.
Yeah.
Even with that whole, how long it took. People were speculating that when they teased the last Ratchet and Clank game, the new one coming out into the Nexus, people released that image and it was in the Eclipse, and people were like, for like a whole week or two, they were like, it's releasing on October 3rd. PlayStation's releasing October 3rd. It's a picture of the Eclipse. The next Eclipse is on October 3rd. That's when PlayStation 4 is going to come out. I was one of those people, but still. Yeah. I mean, it's stuff like that. There you tease it, and then bam. Remember when they did Battle Royale? The fighting game?
Yeah, which kind of was meh, but yeah.
Where they did they hinted at, like, they did these weird promo commercials, and all of a sudden it made sense. Mm-hmm.
They have great marketing.
Yes,
I will give them.
They really build up the hype.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to. They said they have over 300 games in development. 180 of those are exclusives, and we've barely had, and a lot of, and they're going to all come out next year.
Are they all new franchises?
I'm curious. They're not all new franchises, and a lot of them are probably going to be indie games. I mean, 300 games in a year. I mean, that's a little tough.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see quite a few new franchises. We have the VGA Game Awards. I mean, we didn't get a reveal for The Last of Us until the VGAs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if anything, we're going to get... I think Sony's going to end the year with a bang. I mean, even with the PlayStation 4, they're going to have one more trick up their sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of what.
Yeah.
Either that be... Even if it isn't a new franchise, say, like, Uncharted 4... And if you think about it, every Uncharted game has been revealed at the VGAs.
Yeah.
So I won't be surprised if they reveal Uncharted 4. And plus, Naughty Dog has a game they're working on that they haven't even announced, and it's not even it's a brand new IP. But the one brand new exclusive I am super excited about, The Order 1886.
Do we know much about that yet? I mean, it looks kind of cool.
Where is my backpack? Hold on, I have it right here. Let me pull out something for you. So, okay, guys, pardon me for a second. I'm going to pull this out because I have an issue of Game Informer, and the cover story for this month's Game Informer is The Order 1886. And it is a very good article, and if those people who are looking for it, they also go through Next Gen very nicely. But from the stuff I've read about The Order in that issue, it gets me very, very interested. And the trailer that they showed, and it's coming out next year, and it's coming from Radio Dawn Studios, who brought two of the best PSP games ever made. The God of War games on the PSP. Yeah. These were Daxter.
Yeah.
They brought the best, and they were a PSP only studio. Now they're moving up in the world to a console, and they're still Santa Monica, but still Radio Dawn. I am very excited for The Order.
This does look really cool.
And the trailer is freaking awesome. You've seen the trailer, right?
For what? Oh, yeah, for 1886? Yeah.
Yeah. My God, that was freaking awesome.
It looks awesome.
And the graphics were in-game.
Are you serious?
Yes, they even say it at the trailer. When they first put it in the trailer in the beginning, it's like, this is all in-game engine. And people are saying, oh, no, it isn't. It's just CGI mockery.
No, from these screenshots, I can tell you guys right now what we're looking at. Yeah. I mean, heck, maybe you can even throw one quick up there on the screen if you can.
Yeah, I'll probably do that for you guys.
It looks beautiful. It really does. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, I know. Look at the lighting. I'm sorry, guys. We're talking in like.
Well, you can throw it up on the screen for them.
But we're talking about the lighting.
There's dust particles. I mean,
there's one picture in this article that I really, really like. That's a nice shot. The one I'm really looking for, this one.
Oh, yeah.
The blood splatter. Oh, yeah. He's looking in and he has the flashlight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put this photo up for you guys can see.
Future Zach, just put that up there. That'd be great. Yeah.
But yeah, because and this show's going to be revamped a little bit because I do have Final Cut Pro 7 now. So
that'll be great.
Yeah. I'll be able to. But that brings into this whole interactive stuff.
I mean, talking about hype and interactive stuff. And
I think this brings into motion gaming. I think Sony has something very special for motion gaming. They're not forcing it on you, though. That's what I love about it.
Is it optional to get it with it?
Yes. The camera doesn't. I mean, the camera though, you don't have to buy the camera, and if you don't have the camera, you can't really do the motion gaming.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I might get the new PlayStation Eye because the PlayStation Eye looks beautiful.
It looks slick and
the new camera looks beautiful, and it might look. People will probably say it's a Kinect ripoff. Fuck you! It looks awesome. I think, and people. The thing is,
do we have controllers or is it a body?
It's part of our controller. I mean, the lights, the little bar on the controller. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's also it's like a Kinect thing, too. Mm-hmm. But the light is what is the calibration, and it does special thing when you're playing with the camera on. Apparently, it has the light changes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool too.
That's
cool. I think Microsoft should rethink. They say yes, they really should rethink it. I mean, it might be a nice peripheral for this next gen, but I think they're forcing people to buy something that they might not want to use. Mm-hmm. And if they're not, what's the point of buying an Xbox, paying $100 extra? The only reason it's only $600 for the console.
500.
500 for the pardon me. The only reason it's $500 for the Xbox One is because the Kinect is in there. The additional, it would have been $400. And the reason Sony kind of did it, remove the camera from their bundle, is because they wanted to save consumers $100, and they didn't want to force it on them.
Yeah. And on top of that, they get to spank Microsoft. I mean, I'm sorry, it's completely objectively, you are spanking someone if your product is $100 cheaper than the other person.
And here's the funny thing too: the camera's actually cheaper if you buy it on its own.
Really?
Yeah, it's $60 on its own.
God, Microsoft, guys, come on. I mean, I had an Xbox 360. I have one still. Why? I mean, I would want to get the Xbox One for things like Rise and Titanfall.
Oh, yeah.
Why on earth? It's like you're throwing yourself under the bus.
Yeah, why force it on you? But in Major, it's not the big guy. I don't know his name. He's a big fat guy that likes to speak. He's been at everything Microsoft since. He said that when they asked if they would sell, because they said you don't need Kinect to play Xbox One, and there are people that don't want it, but they'll sell a Kinectless bundle. And the guy's like, no, we do not sell Xbox One without Kinect. Without Xbox One,
they're going to.
If without Kinect, there will be no Xbox One.
I guarantee you.
They will probably change their tune.
They will. Because they'll run out of stuff to do. I mean, although I will say this, though. Do you need the voice commands to operate Xbox One? Because if you do, then you'll need it.
They say you don't have to have your Kinect connected, though.
Well, then what?
That's the point of it. I mean, if there are people that don't want to connect their Kinects, what is the fucking point of it? Pardon my language.
Microsoft, come on. I mean, guys, you guys can develop great games. You guys can develop great franchises, and yet you throw yourselves under the bus like this. It's sad. It really is.
They're probably going to do well in sales. Don't get me wrong, but there's a ton of places where pre-orders are sold out. But still, the fact remains they are screwing themselves over just a little bit because there are people that are deciding not to buy Xbox One just because they're not selling it without the Kinect. And the price is a big thing. And one of the other things I would have been very excited about when it comes to Xbox One, Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
That was one of the other things I wish would come to Sony.
It might. There's always a possibility.
Well, it's actually made by Microsoft.
Well, still.
Very, yeah.
I mean, there's always that small hope.
And another fun thing, though, it was announced this week. Does anyone remember PlayStation Pocket?
I remember seeing commercials
from the 90s in 1990 when on the first PlayStation. They discontinued it after like a year and a half. It was for the very first PlayStation. You can connect to it and you can play like little Yamaguchi, like like those old Yamaguchi Tamagotchi things. Playable games. They had it connect. It was also a memory card for the PlayStation 1, and you would connect it, and it was great. And I think they're bringing that back. I don't want to go into detail on that, so I just want to say that. And that brings into lead it off. And just so you know, guys, this whole episode isn't PlayStation.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Yeah, well,
we're changing subjects here, so let's do a drum roll. Go ahead.
If it weren't for PlayStation 4 being cheaper, this is the console I would get. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm so excited. Steam Machine!
Woo! But also, no exclusive games, though. They're not going to have exclusives.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I mean, really, to me, it's a possibly more affordable PC, which would be fantastic. Sure. Which you can open up, and if I want to get a new graphics card, I just put it right in. Or if I want, so I can always hold off, and it's something that I'm really
curious to see how
about.
their controller feels.
I don't know how it feels. I've seen it work, and it looks weirdly. It looks like it would work pretty well, actually.
I mean, yeah, it does weird, but I mean, comfort. I'm talking about comfort.
Yeah.
I mean, comfort here. That's one of the big things.
I mean, it kind of almost reminds me of slightly the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was, to me, one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever had.
There's no D-pad or anything. It's all like a little mouse buttons.
Yeah.
Like touchpads.
Yeah.
Trackpads for Mac fans.
I think. I mean, if you guys have not seen pictures of it yet, I'm sorry to make you do more work. But if you can just throw up one,
I'll see what I can do.
It is beautiful and it looks really cool. And
I think if it didn't come out before, if it came released before Xbox One, I'm like, Microsoft, you freaking copied.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, I do have to say this though. It looks a little better. I think. I mean,
It looks a little.
I think it looks a little nicer.
It looks like it has a Xbox ring.
It has that little glow there.
Yeah, that little ring.
But I think I'm really genuinely. I mean, my two consoles that I really want to get. You know, I always want to pick at least two, and I always try to get them all. But I really.
I'm going to eventually get an Xbox One. No matter, I know I'm talking flack about it. I'm probably going to, because I have a lot of friends that play Xbox, and they're going to go Xbox One, and I don't want to be left out.
Sad. You got to convert them. I'm going to get PS4 and Steam Machine. Even if it's a fluke they do a one-time thing of, I still think it's going to be. I mean, it'll probably be.
Maybe if they discontinue it, and then years down the road they can sell for like
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, because they're so rare.
Yeah, I mean,
like the Ouya is going to be gone.
Well, I will say this though: it is just a PC. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's not anything too complicated. It's like a prepackaged PC.
So I'm just going to call it right now and just going to say, let's have a moment of silence for the Ouya. The Ouya. Am I pronouncing that right?
The what?
The Ouya.
What?
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how to pronounce
Ouija?
it. The Ouija, yeah.
Ouija?
Or whatever it is.
Someone tell us. Henry, why aren't you here?
Yeah. Let's have it. Once the Steam Machine comes out, it's already practically dying. It's dying a slow death anyways.
They said it's going to come out in like... They keep changing that it's Valve. I mean, it's going to be... They keep saying it's 2014, 2015. Yeah. I've heard rumors as early as later this year. Like late this year. I doubt it, but
I doubt it.
You never know. I mean...
Yeah, but I'm talking about... But I think once that comes out, and it's already dying a slow death, the Ouya, whatever you say, is already dying. A slow death.
Now, there is one thing, and I guarantee you this is what might happen, that could sell the Steam Machine like crazy.
Half-Life 3?
Half-Life 3. And there have been two concept artist
or
things that have leaked.
From that picture showing
it. Cake Mix Aperture. I mean, I'd much rather see Half-Life 3 at this point. Don't encourage them to release Portal 3.
Portal 3!
No! But, I mean, I think that it's... I think the Steam box, or Steam Machine, I should say, is going to... It won't compete with PS4 or Xbox One. Just like PC, it's its own thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that it's just a PC, but I mean, I think that it's going to be really cool. I'm excited for it. Which goes to
pricing
for this next gen.
We're talking about everything here.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up soon. We have a few more things we want to talk about. We're doing an extra long episode today.
Yeah.
For this next gen, we're going to probably do. It might be a little bit shorter next episode for the when we do our Xbox episode, but. Pricing, I think, is one of the concerns with people. Partially, I mean, the PlayStation 4 is $400 this time around. I mean, the PlayStation 3 came out; it was like $600.
Yeah, they learned.
They learned their lesson. Microsoft, though, did the opposite.
They did what
Sony did.
I mean,
but Sony did.
That's one of the reasons I got an Xbox 360 in the first place. Other than Halo, which was a big deal back when I got it, was that it was cheaper than PS3, and I couldn't justify spending $600 for MGS4. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bought it when it. I still have an older model, but I got it when it was at $400. But the 80 gig model, which is. I think it's going to die anytime soon. But no, I think pricing, I think Sony learned. Microsoft did the opposite. Microsoft's, though, saying you're not buying just a console. You're buying TV and you're buying...
But I've already bought TV when I bought a cable connection and a TV and cable.
I know.
I mean, so unless they're offering cable channels like AMC or HBO or... I mean, that would change it.
I mean, they have HBO, but you have to be an HBO Go member.
So then I would have to pay for HBO anyway. So it's not adding anything that I wouldn't already have.
Yeah.
That's the fundamental problem here. You're not adding something different to what I don't already have.
And
I mean, you look at something we just were talking about the Steam Machine. I think is going. The highest price is going to be $1,500 for the best model with the Titan graphics card, which is eons above our next gen, and at 1 terabyte hard drive for $1,500, which is not that bad of a deal when you think about it.
It's a PC.
Yeah, I mean, not just, but I mean, even for a PC, that's a good deal for what they're doing. And the lowest it's going to be is $500, which isn't too bad.
Yeah. It's still going to be top of the line.
Yeah, but I mean that's going to be on par with next gen.
But you're paying for games. You're paying for games.
Yeah. And you get Steam, and you get all those cool Steam deals. But, I mean, I think that, and I mean, do you think, here's a good question, do you think the price of games is going to go up this gen?
No. They're going to stay the same, at least for Sony.
Yeah.
I think for Sony, I mean, there might be some games that will be more expensive, like MMOs or whatever. But
what about indie games?
Indie games might go up just a little bit.
I mean, that's. I
think they're going to go up just about like a couple dollars, but they're not going to, because indie games rely on making money, and people won't spend a lot of money on games that take risks. I mean, there will, like Limbo. I only bought it because it was only $3. Mm-hmm. Or Braid because it was $4. So
right.
I think that will be the case, and I also expect to see more episodic.
Yes, definitely.
On the line of Telltale.
Telltale is going to be. I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm interested to see what they do with The Walking Dead now.
Are they going to put it on next gen?
They are or aren't?
They aren't.
They aren't or are?
I wonder if they're going to do that. Because
I think they could.
I think they should, because what about those that traded in their PlayStation 3 or whatever just to get a PlayStation
Well, I mean, if they can put it on a PS Vita, they can put it on a PS4. There's no problem.
I mean, even if it's the same graphics, I don't give a shit. It's just the game. But
now,
it also leaves more room for people to buy more games.
Right.
And I think, there's been talk about episodic games for years.
Yeah.
And they really haven't done it.
They've done it, but they've never done it right. I think.
Yeah. I mean, Fable, Peter Molyneux should just shut the fuck up.
It makes me sad to say. It's just,
he said Fable 3. He said Fable 3 was going to be episodic, and yet it turned out to be not.
They just had two really bad DLCs, which was disappointing.
Yeah.
To no end. I mean,
I
think that
I apologize for my language, but yeah, it's.
This is what happens when you're not here, Henry.
Yes. This is why we can't have nice things, Henry. But yeah, pricing is really going to be a selling point for a lot of people, and I think PlayStation has sold a lot of people just because of its price.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the. I'm serious. That is one of the biggest factors for me with getting a PS4.
That's why the Xbox 360 sold better than the PlayStation 3 when it came out.
Right.
When they both came out. Even PlayStation 3 came out 2 years later because they kept on delaying it.
Yeah.
Or a year. It might have been a year.
It was a year. It was 2007.
Yeah, so it came out a year after it was originally supposed to. So really, I mean, get the price right, people.
Yeah.
And then this also brings into, I want to talk about 3 more things before we go, and these really make sense for the play. And we're talking about PlayStation games here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about. Some of these are third-party games, but before we go, I want to talk about games we want to see on next gen, a la HD remakes. kind of like. If you think about
remakes of whatever's on current
HD,
gen or
double HD.
Yeah.
or for Arkham Origins, like HD remake.
Ultra HD remake. How about that?
Yeah. But there's rumors about GTA 5 on next gen.
Arkham Origins, they kind of confirmed maybe that it will be next gen too.
DC Universe Online is definitely going to be. Injustice is going to be on next gen.
Yeah.
There's all these games, but what I really, really would love to see on next gen, because the possibilities are already endless.
Yeah.
For as it is right now, GTA 5.
GTA 5
will be great, even though it's already a next in its own way. It's a next gen already, but I think if they go on PlayStation in the next gen, I think they can quadruple it. What if you don't have any loading time? So, like, if they added a new world, what if you didn't have any loading time between worlds?
Well, think about this: GTA Online with larger servers. Instead of like 12 people, you have like 32 or
50
or 50 or
yeah,
something.
like a real life city.
Yeah.
I think, what if they do something like that? Another game I would love to see on next gen. I mean, that's already out now. I'm already getting it. Assassin's Creed. I mean, there's going to be more.
Assassin's Creed 4.
There's going to be more on next gen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also curious to see with Battlefield 4. Okay, we're going to talk about this very.
Yeah.
I've been very disappointed with the PlayStation 3 version, but and I'm not going to. I've been thinking about trading in and getting Call of Duty, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to because you know why? I look at it this. I look at it as it is this. When it comes out next gen, on day one, it's going to be. I think they were really focused on next gen, not the current gen. So it could be a whole different game.
You just trade in for the $10 or whatever you get.
I have a voucher, so I just have to. I have to keep the disc, but I have to use the PS3 version disc in my PlayStation 4 to play it. But
that's really cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. If you have the digital version, you just download the digital version. But with I have a Battlefield 4 disc on PlayStation 3. They give you a $10 voucher. You put in the voucher on PlayStation Network. You purchase it, and then
that's really cool.
And then you have to use the PlayStation 3 disc to play. Otherwise, you can't. It's null and void. But I think Battlefield 4 will be very different from in the next gen than it is now.
Oh, it'll be like PC, which is incredible.
I think there's going to be more. I think the customization will be different because you have to do customizations in match now, which is disappointing.
Yeah, they don't have that in the you have Origin for the PC version.
Yeah,
at least,
so you have to do.
Great.
I do all my customization on my computer, but just because that's easier to do. So, but the fact is that when you have to start a match, you could spend 10, 15 minutes doing customization. By the time the match is over, by the time you're done, the match could be over. I mean,
right.
Or the frame rate issues.
I think that the
progress not saving was the biggest issue for me.
I think the fundamental issue here is, I think that Battlefield 4 of all games, should not have been released on PS3 or Xbox 360. It's way too massive to try and cut it down to a bite-sized bit.
I think they made it just for the next gen.
Yeah.
I think they just did it for the fans that are on the current, that aren't going to be able to upgrade. So there's that, and then there's future game franchises I would love to see. I mean, okay. Let me ask you: what games would you like to see that are on current gen? I'm sorry, I'm seeing like I'm controlling today's conversation, but let's.
You're fine.
Okay, this is a special edition. But I know Henry gets very annoyed when I talk too much. He gets very annoyed. You should have seen him when we saw Ender's Game the other day. But anyways, what games would you love to see that are out now on next gen? Oh, I would also love to see Arkham Origins. I would be.
You
amazed.
look up, anybody out there, look up Arkham Origins on Ultra on PC. It is incredible. It looks like a whole different game. It's really cool. I mean, there's subtle differences, but it's very, 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 very cool.
Okay.
I mean, the physics of it and everything else.
Okay. I'm curious to see how they do the touchpad. The
touchpad. That'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's another inclination they can use in GTA 5.
Yeah.
Instead for the weapons wheel, you don't have to use the.
Or your phone.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah.
You use your phone on your.
Yeah.
But so anything else on?
I would love to. I agree with a lot of your choices. I mean, but one game that I would love them to do, a sort of, let's just call it Ultra HD remake here. Mm-hmm. Red Dead Redemption. I think that would be
any Rockstar game, pretty much.
Really, yeah. I mean, I would love.
Noir, I would be curious to see how that would. I would be very curious.
They need to
update the graphics.
They need to stuff the world. That was my problem with LA Noir. Getting a little off track here, but I did not like how it was very un-Rockstar to go into that world and not be able to do some things like go to a movie theater or heck, be a rogue cop and go on a rampage. I mean, there has to be an element of fun to that. It can't just be. You can't give me LA in the 40s and not be able to do anything.
Okay.
Anyway, but I mean, I'd love to see Metal Gear Solid 4, to be honest, with that a little bit more of an open world element like they're doing for Phantom Pain.
Ground Zeroes comes out first. Then that's your way to segue and to ease your way into the. Yeah, Ground Zero. They were doing Ground Zeroes is a prequel. It's like a smaller game. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like a line of Revengeance, where it's gonna ease you into the open world.
That's cool.
So they're not going to jump you right in. It's to ease you in. So it's going to probably start off as linear at first, and then it gets open world as you go along.
That'll be cool.
So I think that's what they're going to do. Like, think Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
They do it. Not 4, but like 2.
Like 2 and 3 and all that stuff. Yeah, I could see that.
Like 1.
Like 1. Yeah.
The first one was little. Yeah. But so yeah, pretty much any Metal Gear game.
Yeah, would look fantastic. But what about the future of franchises?
I would love to see more Uncharted, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, Uncharted. Are we just talking PlayStation exclusives?
Yes.
Can I talk semi-exclusives?
Okay, you can.
I want to see a Wind Waker-esque, cel-shaded PS4 enormous map Chrono Trigger remake. That's what I want to see. That is my dream.
And
that's my dream game.
And not just make it. And actually, just do a new Chrono Trigger game altogether. Why not just?
They kind of tried to do that, and it didn't really work out.
Yeah, but do it a 3D Chrono Trigger.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like complete.
Do it like Elder Scrolls in a way, but also
with time travel would be awesome.
With time travel. And have the most hardest, ridiculous bosses like the original. God knows how many times I got pissed off.
And please keep the same awesome combat engine.
Yeah.
Don't make it a hack and slash. Don't make it like what.
Do it turn-based.
Do it turn-based, but have that kind of element of a little more free form of turn-based.
Yes.
And that I loved about Chrono Trigger.
Or Final Fantasy line.
Well, Final Fantasy.
Not 13, but like. 7.
This goes into games we look forward to, but I'll get into that in a second. What future franchises would you? What was the one? If you had to pick one for right now, at least, what would it be that you would want to see?
Okay, are we talking about exclusives here? I'm going to let you decide. Are we talking about
You can go semi or complete exclusives.
Okay, semi. Well, if it wasn't going to be exclusives or semi-exclusives, I would have gone with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 6 or something. Mm-hmm. I would love to see it, but for a future franchise, for a continuation of a franchise right now, I would love. I'm split between God of War or Uncharted.
God of War, Uncharted. I could see that. Yeah.
Maybe even a new Last of Us. Different story in the same universe.
Or a little bit after.
Yes.
I mean, a little after the main story.
They're going to do that with the DLC. We'll see.
I don't want to spoil the ending for anyone who may. I know it's been a while, but I mean, it's. We do need to talk about the Last of Us ending one of these days because that is worth talking about.
Yeah. It felt like an independent movie. Yeah. The game itself was an independent movie.
It was a fantastic. That ending. We'll have a serious debate about that ending.
Okay. Well, and I think another one. It's not. Shit, I forgot. It wasn't even really an exclusive. BioShock. A BioShock game in next gen. What if they went back to Rapture in next gen?
Or they came up with something else.
Oh shit! I just remembered. Tuesday, Burial at Sea, Episode 1.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be really cool.
It is.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay, I'm gonna probably just watch a video of it online. Okay. Because I'm not gonna spend any money until I get PlayStation 4.
I don't blame you.
And also, even though I'm thinking we're probably gonna do 2 episodes. Let's do 2 episodes next week because we're gonna do one on Wednesday. But since you and me are going to the midnight release,
possibly, hopefully,
if you can go, we'll discuss this, guys. But we can probably even do one on site at Best Buy. We can even try to get interviews of people.
That would be nice.
Bring some variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so what about games you're really looking forward to this gen? What games
that have been announced?
That have been announced,
Okay,
yes.
Let me start with you.
Want to start with me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really kind of excited about Final Fantasy 15. Watch Dogs, definitely.
Exclusive-wise now.
exclusive-wise now? We're doing exclusive? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do both. So.
Okay. Well, then probably Final Fantasy 15. Is that exclusive?
No.
No? Crap. Well, then, that's not exclusive either. Oh, my God.
There hasn't been many exclusives announced.
There haven't.
But just go with it.
I can't think of any really then that I'm like, I mean, Knack is kind of cool, but I mean, I'm not.
Okay. We talked about this earlier. For exclusive, you order 1886.
Yeah. I didn't know that was. Yeah, it is an exclusive. So yeah.
Yeah. Santa Monica Studios. I mean, really, come on.
Yeah.
Santa Monica, and they never failed to disappoint. Even if they did make God of War Ascension, we'll get in that debate another time. But if it wasn't exclusive, a game I would love to see, but it's never coming. Titanfall.
Well, they have sequels. It's okay, bud. They have sequels coming out.
Still, but still.
They said they wanted multi-platform for the others. For the
still,
they could do
the
it.
First Titanfall.
It'll be fine. You'll have Battlefield 4 with like tons of. I mean,
yes, but Titanfall with giant mechanic robots,
mechs,
the mechs, and the super mechs.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
Hey.
Sorry, we had an interruption. But the mechs, fucking awesome mechs.
But whoa. PlanetSide 2 has mechs.
Touche.
There you go. And bigger battlefields.
Touche.
And larger matches.
Touche. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Touche, motherfucker. Pardon my language. Touche. But if it's not exclusive, for a non-exclusive, Watch Dogs. They've been teasing the hell out of that game, and they were supposed to come out day one, and
now I'm sad.
I was super pissed. I was like, that was going to be the highlight of my. I know I would rather have it be a great game, but still, I was super pissed though. At the same time, I was like, it was going to be the highlight of my. Even though it wasn't exclusive, it was the one game I wanted to come home with.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm excited about Watch Dogs. Would probably be my first. Final Fantasy 15 is a close second, and I mean, I've never been an enormous Final Fantasy fan.
Either. I couldn't get into 13.
But I mean, well, actually, no, scratch that. It's a third. Second is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay,
Definitely.
I forgot about that.
That is the one that might even be. You know what? Flip the list. I'm sorry. First, Metal Gear Solid 5. Second, Watch Dogs.
Or will you do Ground Zeroes with Metal Gear Solid 5?
It's the same thing to me. It's all one thing.
Okay.
So let's count it as all one thing. Metal Gear Solid 5 in general. Watch Dogs, then Final Fantasy 15. Those are my top three. Okay. Probably. They're all kind of around the same tide.
Well, I think going on to an hour and a half is really pushing it. I don't want people to get bored with our conversation here. So I'm going to end it here. Though I know last week I kind of promised a contest, but I want to wait till Henry.
Yeah.
And because
Henry needs to be here.
Henry needs to be here.
I miss you, Henry. I just want you here.
Yeah, he should have. I don't know. He's gonna.
I'll hug him hard when he comes back.
Yeah, but so final consensus. One question: PlayStation 4 or 3 Xbox? Who will win? Or is it too close to call?
I mean, to be honest, I'm doing a total cop out here.
Too close
I don't
to call.
know. I mean, I think that we have to wait and see with the way that Microsoft has, at least supposedly so far, retracted DRM, retracted all that stuff. And if Microsoft gets the message by Christmas to drop their price, or a little after Christmas to drop their price, they're golden. Mm-hmm. I mean, it will be very, very, very close.
I think it's already close. I think it's too close to call right now. But pre-orders show that it's a little too close to call right now.
Yeah. But having said that, if Xbox or Microsoft or whatever continues on this path that they've been going on, PS4 all the way will win. Yeah. Period. But they need to get their crap together.
They're clever marketing.
Yeah.
Especially, I laugh at their commercials. They're so clever with their commercials.
Oh, yeah.
How do you share a game with a friend? Here you go, Adam.
I mean,
Hit it right to you.
I mean, I
in
will
your
say
hand.
that that's genius. Is that
That was right at them. Apparently, they filmed that right hours before.
yeah.
They filmed it apparently hours before.
One thing I'll say though is that I think for me personally, the reason I like PlayStation, I like their marketing, I like all that stuff, is because they can appeal to me as a hardcore gamer.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, their their games are always really fun. Even if they're deep, they're like you can still. It's just about having fun at most times. It's not deadly serious 24/7.
Yeah. So, my consensus is it's a little too close to call.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be big competition.
Mm-hmm.
Take this from a guy who works at GameStop, who is a seasonal employee who knows that every pre-order is sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Even the pre-orders, when they reopened pre-orders very briefly for Xbox, they were gone within an hour or two.
Holy crap.
So it's very close. So, it's going to be a very interesting thing to see in the next 6 months, if not year, in terms of sales.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to break records. Violence everywhere. Riots on the streets. The end of the gaming world as we know it.
And the end times. The end times.
It was foretold on February 20th, 2013, that the end times of the current generation of gaming is soon upon us. Bow your heads in a moment of silence. Alright, so that's all we have time for today. This is a little depressing. I'm trying to figure out how to go out with a bang. But this is Geek Talk.
Geek Talk.
We're just too depressed to say our names.
Henry, come back.
This is Zachariah, Zach Attack Swope.
This is Adam.
And this is
Geek Talk.
And thanks for listening to our special PlayStation episode.